Hi, how are you?
Hello.
Where on earth have you been? How was your first semester at Harvard? What are you doing with your life? All of these questions will be answered very soon.
Really quickly, I want to talk about where on earth I have been, and then we'll get into the real tea all about Harvard and how my first semester really went and how Harvard may not be what you are expecting it to be. So let's get into it. I've been gone for quite a bit. I was in West Virginia for most of my summer, and it was absolutely beautiful.
Although I had no access to Wi-Fi or internet, and I was planning on
vlogging my experience being out in nature and the wilderness, but then my phone broke, so that ended up not happening.
It was a really special experience though, just being out in nature and not having any real distractions and not being completely glued to my phone. Even now, whenever I wake up, the first thing I do is check my phone and I'm bombarded with all of these notifications and messages, and it's really stressful, honestly. So just being able to be at camp and waking up and not impulsively checking my phone immediately once I wake up was a really great feeling. Just being able to connect with people, there was something really magical about being at camp and being with people who are really amazing, and I really miss that kind of energy. So that was where I was for most of the summer, and before I knew it, I went back home and then was packing up my things to go to school for pre-orientation, then orientation, and then finally starting my first semester of college. And finally, what you all have been waiting for, an update video for me about my first semester at Harvard.
What Harvard is really like and why it wasn't what I expected.
For one, I want to preface this video by saying that these are my own views and opinions and definitely do not reflect the entire student body, everyone at Harvard. There are thousands of students and I am only one of the many, so
Please just remember that I don't speak for everyone. Again, just my thoughts. Just my thoughts.
first things first. Harvard is not perfect. Not perfect. I came in with a lot of expectations on how college was going to go, mostly based on what I had seen in movies and TV shows, which were really sugar-coated in terms of how perfect college life is, and Harvard was no exception. People were telling me how lucky I was to be going to this perfect school, and that's what I assumed Harvard was coming in.
So when I finally got here, things weren't exactly what I expected them to be.
I do want to acknowledge the fact that I am so fortunate to, one, even be able to go to college, especially go to college in the US, and then also to be able to go to college at Harvard. I did not think that at all would be possible, even going to school in the US. I kind of talked a little bit about that in my last video, but just because of my circumstances and everything going on, I did not think that was going to happen. So I'm very blessed to be going to school here, and I don't take that lightly. But for those of you in high school or middle school who dream of going to the Ivy League or Harvard, you know, thinking that it is going to save you, these schools are not perfect. Getting into the Ivy League is not everything. I've been rewatching Gossip Girl, and in season 2, everyone is crazy obsessed with getting into Yale and Columbia and Harvard and Dartmouth, and most of them just want to go only for the prestige. And I'm telling you now that you are worth more than any number, any acceptance, rejection, waitlist, deferral. You're worth more than that.
Okay, glad we settled that and put that in the air.
My first semester at college was a lot. It was really overwhelming in the best way and the worst way. There was just so much going on, and I was trying to figure out what I was doing with my life, and also figure out who I was and who I wanted to be for the future. First off, academics and classes. So this was a lot. We had shopping week and trying to figure out what classes I really wanted to take, and I thought,
I'm only taking 4 classes, so I'm gonna have time to do a bunch of things really explore in terms of activities I want to do things I've never done before, have time for a social life, have time to sleep, have time to do everything.
And this was really not true.
Yeah, managing time in college is crazy, crazy hard, especially in your first semester when I felt like I had to do everything and I felt like I just wasn't doing enough even though I was doing too much. Part of me felt like I had to go with what everyone else was doing in terms of classes, like taking economics and computer science, but part of me didn't want to, so I just took classes I thought were interesting and hoped that that worked, although I really do wish I was able to explore a lot more and just genuinely take classes to learn, just for the passion of it. And that's something that I feel like first semester I didn't do too much of. So next semester we are definitely changing things up a little bit. Next, let's talk about sleep. So I never thought I could make my sleep schedule
worse. But yeah, here we are.
Yes, it's been so bad. I have seen the sun rise so many times. It is truly not healthy. I feel like in high school, there's this culture of like, oh,
I got like an hour of sleep. Like I'm functioning off of 3 hours of sleep.
And we're like, wow, that's amazing.
but it really isn't. It's not good. Please don't pull any all-nighters. Don't be like me. Just don't. I'm really learning from my mistakes and I'm like telling myself,
Next semester is gonna be different.
we're gonna actually be thriving. For my writing class, all of our papers and assignments were due by
Sunrise the next day.
so I would just stay up the whole night and write and then turn it in before sunrise, and that's kind of how we did things. So it was bad. I mean, I got things done, but it was really not ideal, so I really recommend doing things
Ahead of time and just planning ahead, because
there's definitely time to be able to get enough sleep.
just because I'm not a morning person, so to wake up before 9 a.m. is kind of difficult.
And I told myself 9 a.m. is actually pretty late considering high school for me started at like 7:25. So 9 a.m. to me was like, that's so late. It's fine.
But in reality, it was a lot. Not gonna lie.
So if you're not a morning person, I really recommend taking classes.
Later in the day.
But that class I was taking was only at 9 a.m. so I kind of had to take it. Now, finally, social life at Harvard. Everyone is trying to find their people.
Which is hard.
I've seen so many end of the semester year posts reminiscing on all of the good times.
College has definitely been a really
Interesting time, consumed of so much joy. I feel so lucky to be in the presence of all of these people, and you can really just feel this magic in the air when you're on campus. But for every night of happiness and excitement, there's also another one filled with struggle and loneliness. In the beginning, I felt really scared to go and eat in the dining hall by myself. I would ask myself, am I not good enough? What am I doing wrong? But I'm slowly finding my way, and now I don't mind eating alone in the dining hall. Learning to be okay with being by yourself and taking me time is something that you really learn in college. I've always been with my parents. We've been moving around my entire life, and through everything, they're my rock. They're what get me going, and they've been my constant through everything. So not having them by my side in college and not seeing them every day has been really, really difficult for me, but slowly I've been able to kind of learn how to live by myself and figure things out on my own. And I think that's been a really good process in having that freedom. But still, I have so many questions, so many concerns, and so many struggles, and I'm still learning through it, trying to figure out where I belong and what my place on campus is. And also trying to figure out everything that's going on in my life and who I want to spend time with and who are my people.
It's all such a process.
I'm still in a bit of a crisis myself, as you can see, but during this winter break, I am letting myself breathe, watch as much Netflix, all the movies. I have been going crazy on K-dramas and watching so many movies, like all the Marvel movies, and rewatching Parasite for like the 10th time. Such a good movie. And just really relaxing, being with myself, taking me time, because that is so, so important. And also sleeping a lot. I've been taking so many naps and sleeping like the entire day, and I never felt more alive. It's so great. But I'm super excited to come back to college feeling more refreshed, so excited to meet new people, for all the lessons I'm gonna learn, the new classes I'm gonna take, and for really growing my relationships with the people I've already met. I hope you guys had a wonderful 2019 and excited for the next years to come. I hope you'll join me on my journey and come along for the ride.
It's gonna be a struggle.
But we got this.
Ever since the day that you went away.